How's it, grade 11s? We're going on to sinking funds, working from slides 38 to 45 from the finance PowerPoint. So before I carry on with what we're going to do today, I'm going to break this down into two parts. I'm going to do the one example in this video and then the second example in the second video. Okay, still covering the slides 38 to 45. Okay, so first of all, what are sinking funds? Now, sinking funds is a way that you save up money to buy equipment. So for example, let's say that you've got a big company, a big printing company, okay, and then they buy printing machines. Now, these printing machines aren't cheap. So what you'll do is you'll buy a printing machine and you'll know that the service time on this printing machine is, say, 10 years. Okay, so you'll use it for 10 years, then you'll sell it, and then you'll get a new one. Okay, but when you sell it in that after 10 years, it's not going to be the price that you bought it for. It's going to depreciate it. So you're going to be selling it for less than what you bought it. Okay, and also there's a thing called inflation. So a new machine that costs, I don't know, 50,000 now is not going to cost 50,000 Rand in 10 years' time. It's going to be more. So what you do is you're going to sell your old machine for less, but then you're going to put whatever you sold it for towards the new one. And obviously there's going to be a deficit in how much you owe. So what you do is you set up an account and you put money in there so that you can cover that deficit in 10 years' time. That is a sinking fund. Okay, and it's always with large equipment because they're so expensive. So if we look at example 1, example 1 is saying a company purchases a truck for 450,000 Rand. The company's accountant depreciates the truck at 20% per annum on a reducing balance basis. Question A. Calculate the book value of the truck after 5 years. Now, because this is a reducing balance, we're going to use this formula here. Okay, very similar to the compound interest, except that it's got a minus. All right. So now that we know what our principal amount is, it's the value that we started off for this truck, which is 450,000. 1 minus. Now they told us that it's 20%. So you remember we're going to convert that into a decimal. So it's just 20 divided by 100 and you get 0.2. And it's after 5 years, so our n is 5. Put this on your calculator. To the power of 5 and you get that amount there, which is 147,456 Rand and 0 cents. So as you can see, a truck cost you 450,000, but after 5 years, its value has decreased to 147,456 Rand. Okay, so now let's say that you want to buy a new one. You can sell it for that price in 5 years' time, but you have to put in extra money. Okay, so the next question is saying, at the end of each year, for 4 years, the company deposits 52,000 Rand into a sinking fund to replace the truck. The deposits start 1 year after the truck was bought. What is the value of the fund at the end of 5 years if it earns 13% per annum compounded annually? So what I'm going to do here, grade 11s, is I'm just going to draw up a timeline just to see what is going on here. Okay. All right. So this is where they buy the truck. So I'm just going to make a note here. This is where they buy the truck. And it goes on to say that at the end of each year for 4 years, the company deposits 52,000 to a sinking fund to replace the truck. The deposits start 1 year after the truck was bought. So here, if the truck was bought here, this is where the deposits start, over here. So T1, and it says it goes on for 4 years. T1, T2, T3, T4. Okay, so there's your deposits, and it wants to know what is the value of this in the fund after 5 years. So we want to find out how much in the account is on that time period there. So what I'm going to do is, let's just say we're going to put 52,000 in here. Okay, 52,000 in here. 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 And I'm not going to put it in here because at the end, that is when we want the money. Okay. So, and throughout this whole deposit, they told us we have a 13% per annum interest rate compounded annually. Okay. So, what we're going to do now is I'm going to use the compound interest formula. So A is equal to P, 1 plus I to the power of N. And I'm going to treat them separately, just like I've done with the previous examples. So we're going to look at this first one here. So our accumulated amount is what we're going to find. Our first one is this 52,000 for this one. 1 plus, what is our interest rate? It's 13%. So that is 13 divided by 100. And we get 0.13. Now, you know, normally we divide our interest by whatever our compound period is, okay? Now, this is compounded annually, okay? So annually is just 1. So I'm just going to do it for the first one. We're just dividing by 1, okay? Now, how many compound periods is this going through? 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? It's going through 4 compound periods to the end. So this is going to be 4 times 1 because it's compounded annually. Okay. The next one I'm going to look at is this one over here. So another 52,000. 1 plus, our interest rate is still the same, 0.13. And again, it's going to be divided by 1, but I'm not going to put it in this time. Okay. Now, how many compound periods is this going through? 1, 2, 3. So this is 3 times 1. The next one I'm going to look at is this one over here. 1 plus, our interest rate is still 0.13. And this is going through 1, 2 compound periods times 1. Okay, and that's also divided by 1 there. Last one, let's do this one over here, plus 52,000. 1 plus, our interest is still 0.13. And this is going through 1 compound period. Okay. So if you plug all of that on your calculator, you'll get an accumulated amount of 284,974 Rand and 10 cents. Okay. So that's how much you've saved up. Now, let's have a look at question C. Question C says, in 5 years' time, a new truck is expected to cost 530,000 Rand. Okay, so let's just make a note here. New truck would be 530,000 Rand. Okay, how much additional money is required to buy the new truck if the old one is sold for its book value? Now, remember from question A, that is our book value after 5 years, okay? But what have these people done? They've also opened up a sinking fund, so they also have this money available to them. So in total, all the money that they have is this plus this, okay? So let's just say total money would be equal to 147,456 Rand plus this 284,974 and 10 cents. Okay. And if we add those two together, we're going to get 147,456 plus 284,974 and 10 cents. All right, so they have a total of 432,430 Rand and 10 cents. The new truck costs that. That's how much money they have. So the additional money would be equal to this amount minus this amount. So 530,000 minus 432,430 and 10 cents. And what they need extra is 97,569 Rand and 93 cents. That's how much more money they need. Okay, so grade 11s, from this exercise or from this example, I would like you to do exercise 12.8 number 2 for me, please. Okay, and then just stick around for the second video.